In the National Weather Service, we're here 365 days out of the year, 24 hours a day around the clock, and we're here really to provide information so people can make decisions to protect their life. And what we're doing is we're using high-resolution computer models, and we're using computer data. Say it could be from satellites, from Doppler radar that we have here in Ruskin, and that information allows us to produce forecasts to help other people make decisions. So again, it could be hurricane season, it could be not hurricane season. We're going to be here. We're in the first month of the season running through November 30th. We've already seen one named storm, Tropical Storm Ana, that was off the southeast U.S. coast, and we're monitoring another system that's developing in the Gulf of Mexico. But what we're looking at is a below normal year this year. And the important thing to remember is no matter how active or inactive a season may be, it only takes that one storm to change your life forever. The NOAA Hurricane Outlook is calling for a below normal year, and the weather pattern that is really dictating that hurricane frequency is going to be called El Nino. And so we've all heard of the El Nino and the La Nina weather pattern, but El Nino really is generated from warmer water in the eastern Pacific Ocean. And what that does is it creates a stronger jet stream across the southern U.S., the Gulf of Mexico, and the tropical Atlantic, where a lot of our storms tend to form. So the El Nino weather pattern is actually going to create a below normal season, but we always tell people to remember 1992, we were coming out of an El Nino year, and we saw the first named storm in August, and that was Hurricane Andrew. Did a lot of damage in South Florida. So again, every year is the year to prepare. We can only go back almost a decade ago, and that was the last time that a major hurricane hit the entire United States, but it's also the last time that a hurricane hit Florida. And again, that was 2005 October storm, Hurricane Wilma. And it's a good point to remember because in this area, in the Tampa Bay area, the west coast of Florida, we tend to have two peaks during that June through November hurricane season. June, we tend to see a minor spike in the activity, and we can go back to 2012, we saw Tropical Storm Debbie. 2013, Tropical Storm Andrea, both of which produced tornadoes, high winds, shut down Skyway Bridge, produced a lot of flooding in many areas across the area. And then we're looking at, for this year, the potential for another tropical system to come our way. But again, it's been almost 10 years since Florida has seen a hurricane. The best thing to be prepared is really to know what you're going to do before that tropical system comes our way. Don't wait for the National Weather Service to issue a tropical storm or a hurricane watch or warning, because then it's too late. Everyone's going to be rushing to get their supplies. You want to start now when the weather is nice and basically form a hurricane safety kit. And you want to make sure that you have at least food and water to survive for about 3 days, because that may be the amount of time that power is out. But more importantly, that if you're stranded, that may be the amount of time before emergency response officials can come to you to bring resources your way or to get you out of the area. But another important point is to make sure that you have a NOAA weather radio, because power will generally be out. And we all have cell phones, they're great, but they run on batteries and they may die and you may not be able to charge them up. So again, a NOAA weather radio, you can stock up on batteries, and you can also buy ones that you can hand crank. It may sound archaic, but again, it could give you information that could generally save your life when severe weather or hurricanes come to your way. So again, a NOAA weather radio is an important part of a hurricane safety kit. And have medicine, have cash, because ATM machines are not going to be powered. And so you want to make sure that you think ahead, and definitely do it now when the weather is nice, to go out there, stock up on your hurricane safety kit, and have a plan. And number 3 is really going to be listening to the advice of the city and county officials. If they tell you to evacuate, don't question it, just get out. And we always have that phrase of run from the water and hide from the wind. And what that means is generally in about 3 to 6 miles of the coastline, you're going to be in danger of that storm surge. And that can vary based on where you are and if you live close to a river. But you want to make sure that you evacuate to a friend or family's place farther inland. Get away from the storm surge, because storm surge is the #1 killer of a hurricane or tropical storm. This year, the National Weather Service is debuting 2 new services for storm surge, and some of them are experimental, but you will be able to see this information on our website. Weather.gov/Tampa is our local page. You have hurricanes.gov is going to be the page for the National Hurricane Center. But all the information is going to come out through media, through emergency response officials. But what we're going to show now is a tropical storm or hurricane storm surge watch or warning that'll be positioned along the coastline. So it'll tell you that, okay, storm surge can still impact your area even if you're not within a hurricane watch or warning, because sometimes that water can still flood an area, but you may not receive the stronger winds. And we saw that a lot with Hurricane Ike that hit Texas, Hurricane Katrina that hit Louisiana and portions of Mississippi and Alabama. The storm surge can impact the coastline well away from the hurricane winds that we always produce a warning for. So again, tropical storm Hurricane storm surge services are going to be coming your way this summer as well. And another one is going to be the actual graphic that we're going to be able to show what areas are going to be seeing a lot of water coming to their area. And it's going to have a scale of up to 3 feet, up to 6 feet, 9 feet, whatever it may be. But again, you're going to be able to see in your area where will the most water potentially flood your area. And again, the emergency response officials are going to be using that information to provide evacuation orders, but nothing supersedes the orders. So again, if you're ordered to evacuate, you want to listen to that and get out of the area.